What is up, guys? This is going to be my review for Supergirl Season 4, Episode 2, titled Fallout, which, first thing gotta say, this is the third episode of the Arrowverse, titled Fallout. First of all, there was The Flash Season 1, Episode 14, titled Fallout, then Arrow Season 6, Episode 1, titled Fallout, and now Supergirl Season 4, Episode 2, titled Fallout. It's only Legend of Tomorrow and I guess Batwoman after that who have to have an episode titled Fallout, and then we could rename the universe the Fallout verse. But getting into this episode, as you know from the past episode, if you saw my review, I didn't like it very much. I didn't like how the season would have been going just based off that episode. This episode definitely kicks off where that episode ends, meaning it's not that much better, and it definitely continues the season storyline, which seems to be a concept that I actually like, which is how the world would react to actual real-life aliens coming to Earth. But the problem with that in this context is that this universe already has known about aliens for like 10 years, in terms of the fact that Clark Kent has been Superman for like 15 years, they said, and I'm pretty sure the public knew about him being an alien for like around a decade, maybe even longer. So why is it only a problem now and not in the first 3 years? Because on Supergirl before, they kind of made it seem like humans and aliens were already living together, but now in Season 4 they're just for some reason not. And on top of that, this show obviously will not handle this issue well. This isn't a real world issue because there are no real aliens out from outer space, but this is an issue in terms of the fact that it is the same exact thing basically as aliens, as in illegal aliens, on the immigration problem. And obviously this show does not show both sides of that argument, only shows one, which is the whole show's agenda, which makes for very, very bad entertainment. The one thing that ruins entertainment completely is politics, and this episode and the episode before that and the whole season in general will delve deep into politics, which again ruins a TV show every single time, especially a CW TV show delves into politics. That episode is almost definitely ruined. The whole season could be ruined from any episode or a bunch of episodes, if that season has a bunch of episodes, or if the whole season is just dedicated to exploring something political, even if it's not real world politics, which is a little better. But still, it just ruins entertainment, and I hate the fact that there's actually real-life politics in these, or not real life, but just politics in general in these TV shows. I mean, Alex Danvers even said it. There's a time and place to talk about politics, and in the workplace, which, for the people who make this TV show, is making the TV show, you shouldn't talk about politics, and they do. It really, really bothers me, and it's something that I do not like about Supergirl, especially when they always show one side of any argument, which is the left-wing side or the liberal side, because this is made by people in Hollywood or people around the filmmaking, which is most people over there are liberal, so they only really show one side. Which, granted, from the characters on this show, that makes sense because the main character is an alien, and everybody supporting her are aliens. But then they show the people who are just disagreeing with her as evil, bad people, which is alienating, pun intended, half the entire country of America, which won't bring you a lot of viewers for your show, and also it makes it so that half the country wouldn't want to watch a show that could be interesting for those people. It completely, politics in general, ruins entertainment, and this episode and the season in general will get a low rating for every episode of the entire season, really, if it continues to delve into nothing but politics. And I would say, like I said before, the concept of how would the world react to actual aliens could actually work. I don't think it could work for a TV show, though, especially a TV show with 20 to 23 episodes a season. I think it could work for a comic book very well, maybe a movie, but I think this is more fitting for literature like a comic book and not actually a TV show, because it makes these characters less likable, less relatable for a lot of people, and it makes the show and entertainment in general a lot worse. That being said, this episode wasn't actually terrible. There were some things that I did kind of like, and really the main thing that I actually did completely like was Agent Liberty. I think he could turn out to be a great main villain for the season, maybe even the first good main villain on Supergirl, which Rain had every right to be. I mean, she was set up to be a great main villain, but she and the rest of the season was completely ruined near the end. So hopefully Agent Liberty can break the mold and become the first good main villain of Supergirl. I thought really the entire ending of the episode was really well done. I liked the speech from Agent Liberty, really fleshed him out as a character, made me more interested in him as a villain, and I think the speech in general was very good. The reveal that Otis and Mercy Graves stole that device they used back in Season 2 to disperse the lead in the air to get rid of the Daxamites, that was a good reveal, and the fact that they used it was a good cliffhanger for the episode. Really, the entire ending of the episode was actually really good. There wasn't much else I really enjoyed about this episode. I mean, there's not much else I hated completely, but I mean, there's obviously Mercy and Otis Graves. I hate those guys so much. They're the worst characters ever, and I think the show did that on purpose because they want to make their opinions about aliens seem completely evil, which they kind of are because they're killing people, but I just think that makes them bad villains, and you even though the villains are always wrong, you don't want them to be bad villains. You're always going to root against them, but you don't want them to be annoying. But Mercy and Otis Graves are just annoying. They're like pests. It's so annoying to watch them, and they completely ruin any scene they're in. Like, there's this fight scene between Mercy and Lena. Terrible fight scene, but it's made even worse by the fact that Mercy is so annoying. I would say Otis is even more annoying than Mercy, but his role is much more minimal than hers, so she obviously I have more to talk about in her respect. But I would say, other than that, not much I hated about the episode. The one thing that did make this storyline actually kind of compelling is, I mean, it didn't really make it compelling, it just made it kind of compelling, was Brainiac 5. I think the storyline he went through in that episode actually made it kind of interesting. I mean, it's not interesting at all, but Brainiac 5 did make it a little tiny bit interesting, just because he is a good character. He's probably the only good character left on the show, now that Mon-El and Windshot left and John Jones is no longer a good character, really. Brainiac 5 is probably the last one, so his involvement in the story kind of makes it better. Also, the mystery between him and Nia Nal is also kind of interesting, because Nia Nal in the comics is a character named Nora Nal, who is Dream Girl, or Dreamer, a member of the Legion of Superheroes, so it's possible that those two characters are connected some way. I found that at least a little bit interesting. I would say that the scene with Brainiac 5 in the pizza shop was a terrible scene, but after that, his reaction to that was kind of compelling, and it made the storyline just a little bit better, but it's not enough to save it from being a very bad storyline. In conclusion, Supergirl Season 4 so far, not very good. This episode definitely not as bad as the first episode, but still has a lot of problems. I'll give this episode a 6 out of 10, which is definitely better than the previous episode, which got a 5 out of 10. If you want to check out that review, link will be in the top right corner of the video. But what do you think about this episode? Do you hate it? Like, I don't really hate it, but do you dislike it like I do, or do you love it and want to tell me in the comment section below why I'm a terrible person for not liking this episode? Definitely comment that in the comments, and if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.